2, 1, go!
20.5 is open and ready for fitness
They have 40 of these things.
as we tackle the final events of 2020 CrossFit Games Open. A choose your own adventure, 40 ring muscle ups, 80 cals on the row, and 120 wall ball shots. Both athletes starting off with ring muscle ups.
So as we kind of expect, Pat Vellner's cycle rate is a little faster here. Pat did the 30 ring muscle ups 4 times at the CrossFit Games in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Those are on some long straps. Now you can see here, Pat's losing his rhythm just a little bit there, but he's still going to keep going. I don't think he's going to break, and he's broken at 11. Pat, 12, okay. So maybe what Pat's going to do here is you can see he's probably going to use his triceps a little more on the walls, right? And then he's going to use his pull on the row. He's got strong last, so he's going to use up the pull on the row, refresh on the row after this wall ball, and then get into, you know, another big set of ring muscle ups.
We're just a minute into this event. You can look at the top left part of your screen. That is your rep counter. Vellner moving to the wall balls. Annie is going to the row after her first set of ring muscle ups. The total number of reps to achieve in this event is 240 for both athletes. And we said earlier, this is a choose your own adventure style. Annie and Pat both started on the rings. Annie moving to the row, Pat to the wall ball shot, and he has yet to put that ball down.
Yeah, he's moved a lot. And something you're going to notice here is obviously reps are taking away a lot faster for Pat than Annie's on the rower. But you know, the strategies are in stark contrast with one another right now. You see Annie getting back on the rings, almost making a little bit of a couplet for herself. And you know, it's going to be interesting because like we literally do, the triceps on the wall ball muscle, their lockout might actually get fatigued. So the first thing I noticed, Annie's super smart. She's going a pull and a pull, but she's not worried about the push. And that could be maybe the hardest part of the muscle for her.
When you think about when you put wall balls into a movement like, or a workout like this that have muscle ups, I think people underestimate the taxing part of the wall ball being the tricep. And what's the most difficult thing other than getting on top of the rings is trying to get above them with that ring dip.
Exactly. Now, I've just done a little bit of math here. I've got a bit of a prediction on absolute kind of best case scenario time. We're looking at about 15 minutes here. So if you're doing 40 ring muscle ups, let's say you can do them unbroken, which isn't going to happen. But let's say you're going to get 40 ring muscle ups unbroken. That's going to take about 2 minutes and 10 seconds for these athletes. Wall balls, you're looking at about 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Let's say 4 minutes. We'll round it up for 120 reps. And then on the row, that's obviously where you're trying to figure out what kind of pace they're going to be holding on the row. If you're holding an aggressive pace, let's say that's 1350 cal per hour, probably a little faster than we can expect from these athletes. That's 14 minutes, 50 seconds. So with transitions, you're going to get fairly close, potentially to 20 minutes. That's some rough calculations, but there is spot.
Here's the thing I find interesting is the complete different strategies we have between Annie Thorisdottir and Pat Vellner. Annie is back on the rings. It looks like to me she has been doing about 5 or 6 muscle ups every time she's got to the rings. For Vellner is going back and forth between the rings and the wall ball shots. Neither one is doing that third movement between the two of them.
And it goes to show that the transition time is something they've taken into account, and they don't want to be going around in a merry-go-round from one movement to another. But now is that for a time that we see Pat getting on that rower, and he's at 89 reps, and he's at 52. You know, it's interesting to see at what point in the time, as about 4 minutes in, we start to see it leveling the playing field.
Now, Brent, I got a question for you, is that if you're looking at Annie's strategy, we talked about how the muscle ups can be interfered with the wall ball shots. Annie not having a strong skill set on the rings the same maybe Vellner does, who is finally on the rower the first time. Do you kind of think the strategy Annie's going is a couple between her and the row and saving those wall balls or one big shot at the end? Because you look at her, she is a beast out there. When you give an athlete like Annie Thorisdottir a 14-pound ball on a 9-foot target, 120 wall ball shots isn't really one thing she's really going to be afraid of.
No, I'm sure Annie can do 150 wall balls unbroken or more. Now, I'm quickly going to go back to my earlier prediction. I clicked on the wrong cell in my formula here. We're looking more at about 10 minutes. So sorry, 10 minutes they're going unbroken. So
I believe you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So
you say it with
10 minutes
conviction.
they're going unbroken. So probably looking more like 12 to 13 for the top scores. Today, they could go around 12 minutes. I think that'd be a pretty solid score for the first 10. But you're right. I know for me, I'm really confident doing large sets of wall balls unbroken at the end of a workout. So I'm thinking Annie has the same mentality.
Annie's sticking with the 5 5 reps on the ring so far. We're just past the 5-minute mark. Vellner just finished his first row, back in the rings, moving back to the rower. Now, when you looked at the back and forth, I'm sure he was probably thinking maybe 3s to 40 or something close to that on the wall ball shots. But look at the rep discrepancy so far. I think that's just a product of cows versus wall ball shots, right? One's a little bit faster than the other.
Yeah, and I think this is, you know, as we watch them go, I think that you're noticing that, what you said, right, 100%, if Andy hops on that wall ball, she's not putting it down. But she's clearly saying, hey, I got to get through the muscle-ups. And then the row is active recovery, essentially. And then when she gets on the wall ball, it's time to burn it to the ground.
And this is the most exciting part about this event in particular, because there is so many different ways to do this. How amazing would it be to see it come down to maybe Vellner struggling through some muscle-ups when he's absolutely gassed, and Andy just charged through those last 120 wall ball shots. We have yet to determine which direction they're going to go, but I actually think Pat maybe close to at least half or 75% of his wall balls completed already.
That's right. I mean, I think with Pat, I think this probably going into his potentially last set of muscles. I know he started with about 12. Yeah. Let's see, he went 12. Maybe he got 10, 8, 8, something like that. So if he can get so he's got 4 reps left on the muscle. Now this gets interesting. If he fails a rep here, is he going to run back, start, let's say, his row or his wall balls? Or is he going to wait under the ring to get that one last rep?
137 reps completed by Pat Vellner. Extract the 40 muscle-ups. That's 97 completed in the row and the wall ball. So he does not have to go back to the rings, as we are 7 minutes into a 20-minute AMRAP. Annie Thorisdottir still sticking with her plan to mix between the rower and the rings only.
And she's down to some smaller set on that muscle up now, which I think is, you know, which at some point are we going to see the couple continue, or is she going to take a break? But you can see she's committed to this strategy: row, wall ball, row, wall ball. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how fast she now, once she gets done with them, take away the wall ball reps compared to Pat.
Right. I'm curious to see how many calories Annie has, because pretty quickly she's going to be done on that row, right? And so if she's not done her ring muscles at that point, then she's going to be alternating maybe one more set between ring and wall ball. Probably not something she wants to do. I'm sure her triceps are already pretty fatigued. I think I might have seen that classic Annie Thorisdottir smile there. That might have been her signaling she finished her ring muscles. I could be wrong. It's hard. It's hard to know as a spectator right now who's in the lead, how many reps they have left, and what their finishing time is going to look like.
Vellner on the right, Annie Thorisdottir on the left. You can look at the top left corner of your screen. Total reps completed. Vellner approaching 160. That means he'll have 80 total reps to go. And that'll be between the rower and the wall ball shots, because he is done with his ring muscle ups. So we're past the 8-minute mark. Andy on the left side, 60 reps behind him. She has done a lot more cows on the row up to this point. She still has yet to pick up that med ball.
I just heard the announcer on the floor say, Vellner with 2 wall balls left. That was about 20 seconds ago. That's going to, let's say, that's 10 wall balls. So we have 40 wall balls left now. And then I think he's going to get back to the row. He's got 30 wall balls left and maybe 30 calorie row left. So he's going to burn it out on the rower. Super smart to finish on the row. Yeah. You can really hammer those cows. From the 30 cows, if they're Vellner stretch, he's just going to hammer these and then hold on the wall ball. And like I said, average time here, 9:45. If he's going fast, so I'm thinking probably 11 minutes for Vellner.
Super smart to finish on the row. Not super fun to finish on the row.
No.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, Annie's back in the ring again, and we're 30 calories left. We see for Vellner right now, so with 30 calories left, I mean, he can, like you said, really start to burn to the ground, get that done in maybe 9 seconds or so.
There she is. Yeah. Smile.
Here we go. She's onto the wall.
Annie Thorisdottir picks up the net ball for the first time. She's 7 reps behind Vellner as we're closing in on the 10-minute mark.
I think that I'm curious to see what kind of sets now Annie's capable of. She's gonna right now she's gonna be doing math in her head, maybe even asking her judge, how many calories do I have left on the rower? She knows how many walls she has left. She has 120. She probably dipped away maybe 10 to 15 at the time we've been talking.
She was done out, I think it was 120 with a total wrap. So for a time of 40, so she's, I mean, by that math, she's actually done with the row.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's just the final 120 reps that Annie has.
Karen to finish out the workout, which is 100.
Shorter Karen and less reps, and you're talking about one of the fittest women, fittest athletes in general in the world with Annie Thorisdottir.
I mean, we're closing in on the final 30 reps we're at here right now.
That's right. Yep.
So I mean, I think he might be done on that rower. If not, he might just have a few cows left. But I mean, and he just broke the wall ball.
Yeah, super impressive time here by Pat. I'd be curious to know what he held in the rower. I'm guessing it over 1250 cows per hour, probably more like 1350, but depending on the time of the workout. I mean, he looks great right now, and he looks really good. I think she dropped the wall balls that once.
Yeah,
right.
And we're closing on the final 10 reps here.
Total reps to complete is 240, and it looks like Vellner is trying to close out his last set of wall balls. So
Okay,
saving 10 cows on the road to finish.
What a beauty. Full send.
That's right.
That's 10 hard pulls. You can tell his legs are extremely tight. He's not bringing his bottle.
Not even those things.
Just trying to refund it. Almost 11. I think it's going to be a really, really good time, but I know Vellner doesn't like to redo these.
Patrick Vellner, 2 pulls to go. That'll do it. Vellner will take 20.5.
Oh, man.
Right on a time of 11:15.
Man, that's
That hurts at the end.
that did not look like it was a lot of fun, and I feel bad for Vellner having to do this with no data to go on. And I mean, he's just going to learn so much by talking to so many other athletes to give this a crack. And I'm sure he's thinking that now. I wish I'd done this and done that. But it was great performance. I mean, 11:15 seems like a really solid time.
Right. You know, and I think right now we have to draw some scope to what we see anyway, where she made those 40 muscle-ups look pretty effortless, and I think that it's easy to forget that that's a lot of muscle-ups in for a lot of the female athletes. So I think where she is at with she's going to storm through these wall balls with minimal breaks. I think it was really smart to lay off of that tricep piece, and I think that probably was a thinking. And the pull's clearly not her weakness. We know that she can power clean the world. So it's that fish, and there's some good strategy there.
And I think that strategy specifically to any taller athlete, stronger athlete, larger athlete, not as well versed on the ring, the same to be a shorter one can dance on the rings all day. So that's where the fun part about it's going to happen, because if you have a female athlete who can just rip through muscle ups, you can get like a Kristen or a Harry Pierce.
Yeah.
Or even secrets. Let's not get some of these athletes, but how are they going to break up a little bit more? Like, you save a row towards the end that's a bit more strenuous in terms of speed, or small balls with a shorter target?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a difficult thing. I think no matter who you are, if you can do muscle ups, you gotta get most of them done in the beginning and pair them with a movement or maybe both movements if you easier. And you can start closing down here, 20 reps left.
Yeah. And the first thing that's coming to mind here is certainly like for your athletes, your athletes, is just really starting to write down all different types of rep schemes. Here's just models. And I think that can really help. I mean, we see 2 models very different, and I think there's a lot of value there.
Absolutely. Let's cheer on the ending here.
Bring it
home. 7
home.
reps left. Massive final set after all that work to hold onto that wall ball for what looked like a set of 40.
Yeah.
And Thorisdottir closing out in style in front of a big crowd here at Reebok CrossFit. 1:240 is the number to get to, and she's got there right around 13:49. As we close out, your top 2 athletes here for 20.5.